Hey guys, Crystal here with Crystal's Crafties, and today I want to show you how to use the print and cut features of Cricut and also how to work with some of the writing and pens. Now when we get into print and cut, the options are endless. There is just so much you can do. So I'm going to start with something very basic just to show you how the features work, and from there you can explore and explore and explore. There's just really so much you can do. So today I'm just going to make some Christmas gift tags, and in order to save time, I've already got a lot of this done, and I'm just going to show you, what I've done and how I've done it, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is pull in this first gift tag. I've got this image from the Cricut images using my Cricut Access. So again, I really recommend that you purchase that subscription to Cricut Access. There's so much stuff you can get. Okay, so for this tag, when we do the print then cut, you need it to be on white paper, white cardstock, white photo paper, whatever you're using. But the print and cut features don't work very well if you're not using white paper. But I've got it this blue color here just so that we can see it a little bit better. Okay, so I've got this little Christmas tree also, and what I'm going to do is shrink this tree down, and I'm going to cut this tree out of my tag. When you are cutting something out, you want to make sure that it does not touch the edges of your main design, or you're going to lose the feel of the cutout. Okay, so I've got it placed where I want it. I'm going to select both of these and slice. And then my little Christmas tree will get cut out of my gift tag. Okay, so I don't need this, and I don't need this. Okay, so now it's a little Christmas tree cutout. And up here, I'm going to use the Cricut pens, and I'm going to write Merry Christmas, and I've already got the font. Here we go. This is the Hopeless Romantic font, and it is available in Cricut with your Cricut Access, and I've set it, you can see up here, let me select this. You can see that it's set to the writing style, and it's going to tell my machine to use the pen and write this. Okay, I'm not very fond of the spacing they've got going on, so I'm going to select maybe 0.5 to see if that brings it more to where I want it. It's definitely better for Merry. Let me try Christmas. Okay, Christmas is still going to need some work. So I'm going to move it up to my line. I'm going to ungroup all of the letters. I think. Okay, it's ungrouping it now. Okay, now I'm just going to move each letter individually. I'm going to take my T, M, A, S. They're not quite close enough. I'm going to scooch them in a little bit more. Let's see. I'm not worried about getting these perfectly aligned on the bottom because I'm going to use my align tool and line them up down there. Okay. So that looks better. I'm going to select all of this. And I'm going to come up here to align, and I'm going to align the bottoms so that they're all perfectly lined up on the bottom. And then I'm going to attach all of those letters together. Okay. So I'm going to take Merry. I'm going to move it up here to my tag. Oh, it's behind it. Arrange, move to front. Okay. I want to rotate it and shrink it down. Where'd you go? Okay, now the same with Christmas. Take it, move it up here, rotate it, shrink it down. Let's see, I'm not sure if that's small enough. Nope, it's going to have to go smaller. That's too small, I think. Center it on there and see. Yeah, we can go a little bit bigger than that. Okay, that's probably right about where we need to be. Okay, so I'm going to make Mary just a little bit smaller, just personal preference there. And then I'm going to scooch them a little bit closer together. Okay, so there's Merry Christmas. And now down here in this space, I want to write the to and from. And I actually have that over here too. Let me find it. It's one of these. Let me try this. Nope, not that one. Okay, let me try this one. There it is. Okay. So I was using a more basic font for this one. I didn't set it to print yet, but that's what I'm going to do now. I'm sorry, I didn't set it to write. So I've got this to you from me. I'm going to select it. I'm going to come up here and turn it to writing. Okay, now it's put it into the writing. And again, the spacing is just way too spaced out for me, so I'm going to put it at 0.5 again. Okay. Now I'm going to shrink it to where it's going to fit on my card. I'm going to come and unlock this and do some more kind of scrunching to get it really where I need it to be. Let me move it up and see how it's looking so far. Okay, it's stuck behind there, so let me bring it to the front, arrange, move to front. Okay, I think that they're too far apart from top to bottom, so again, I'm going to come up and change the spacing. This time I'm going to use the line spacing. I'm going to put it at 0.5 and see how that does. Oh, nowhere near. Okay, I'm going to put it at negative 0.5 and see what we get. We're closer, maybe negative 1.5. Still not where I want it. Negative 2. Now I could have ungrouped all of these and brought them closer together on my own, but I chose to just use the line spacing there. Okay, so now it's spaced well, it's sized well. I'm just going to move it where I want it on the tag. Okay, so this tag is done. This is how I want it to look. There's a few things that you need to do though. If I were just to come over here and hit make it, you're going to see that it's going to space everything for optimized spacing on the mat. Well, that's not at all going to work for what we need to do. So I need to make sure that I attach everything together. I need to attach all of the writing to the tag that we're cutting out. Okay, so I'm going to hit my select all. Then I'm going to come down here and attach. Okay, now if I go to make it, you can see that it has got everything on the tag. It's going to draw first and then cut. So if I were to hit continue, it would tell me to insert my pen and it would draw the writing part for me, and then it would come out and it would cut this tag and it would cut that tree out. But we're not quite done yet. I'm going to show you some of the print features now. Okay, so I'm going to come and bring in my other tag that I have hidden over here. Okay, so there's the other one. And I want to print this pretty little ornament on it. Oh, hold on, let me unhide all of the ornament. There it is. Okay, so this ornament needs some work to get it ready to print. I don't want that black outline. Got to get rid of that. And when you're using the print then cut, you need to make everything the exact color you want it to print. There won't be any editing once you put it on the mat. So I'm going to change this red to a much brighter red. I'm going to change this green to a brighter green. And I'm going to change this green to a darker green. Okay, I like those colors better. Now I'm going to shrink it down. I'm going to put it over here on my tag. I need to shrink it just a little bit more. Okay. And that's right about where I want it to print on my tag. What I need to do now is select this image, and I'm going to flatten it. Now I could change it all to print, but flatten is what we need to do in this case, because flattening it tells it I want it to print on this tag and I do not want it to cut out. If you don't flatten it, what's going to happen is it's going to start cutting every little piece of this design out. Even though you tell it to print, it's going to print this pretty little picture for you, and then it's going to cut all the way around it, and you don't want to do that. You want it just printed on your tag, so you need to flatten it onto your tag. Okay. Then I want the to you from me, so I'm going to come and get these out. Okay, I'm going to set them to print. So let me come over here in this layer tab, hit print, and I'm going to change it to black, I think. And then this one I'm going to set to print and change it to black. And then I'm going to resize these to where I want them on the tag. Gosh, that looks huge. Okay. Change my spacing to 0.5 because we have all learned I don't like the letters that far apart. Change this. Letter spacing 0.5. I mean, honestly, they could still be closer together, but I'm going to go ahead and roll with what we've got here. Okay. Take the 2, move it up. Oh, what did I do? Put it on the tag. The from, move it up. Put it on the tag. And obviously these need to be much smaller. Oh, you know, they still have this background layer in here. That's why they look so chunky. Let me turn off the background layers. There we go. That looks a lot better. Okay. Alright. So there's the 2 and the from. The from needs to be a little bit smaller still, I think. Okay. And then I have the to you from me over here. This font is called Sea Salt. It's another font that I have uploaded and put into my computer so that I can use it. I'm going to connect it all again by just lowering the letter spacing. I don't like that, but I'll go back and fix that in a second. So ungroup, move these closer together. Okay. Weld this. Okay. We're welding because we're using a script font. Now I'm going to, oops, getting ahead of myself. I'm going to ungroup this one, rearrange the letters how I want them to be. Okay, now I'm going to weld all of that together. Okay, I'm going to come over here to my Layers tab, and I'm going to set each one of these to print because we are doing the print then cut. And I think I want them to be red. Set to print, turn it red. Okay, so move the U to U, needs to be smaller. From me. Okay, so again, what I need to do now is select all of this here and flatten it in so that it knows I do not want it to cut out these words. I only want it to cut out my basic outline. And it's turned all of this into a print. That does not mean it's not going to cut. It's just telling it only to cut the outermost layer, not to cut any of this. Trust me, I have made this mistake so many times, and it's gone in and started cutting out my letters, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, no, stop. Okay, so if I hit make it, you can see both of my projects on here now. The first one, it's going to print. It's going to print out this ornament. It's going to print out the 2U and the from me, and that is all it's going to print. Then once that's printed, you'll upload it, you'll put it on your cutting mat, and it'll go and it'll cut out the tag. And in the next design, it will come over and it will draw Merry Christmas to you from me, and then it will cut the tags. And I am actually going to do this for you, but I'm going to stop this video and then I'm going to start a new one showing you how this is going to print and cut. So that's all we're going to do for now. I'll see you guys in a few minutes.